Okay, here we are, I think. Hello, everybody. This is a kind of strange opening since all of you have already been attending sessions. I have seen you around, so maybe it doesn't make so much sense now to start saying welcome, everybody. But Ari and I wanted to make this live to welcome the our dear American colleagues. So here we are, and so welcome to ICSE 2021. I'm really happy that at long last this day has come. Unfortunately, me in an empty room talking to a screen is not at all what I had foreseen for an ICSE opening in Madrid. But I guess that for a year and a half, we have all been living a strange reality that no one had reckoned with. So the worst thing is that several of us have worked 10 times harder to prepare an event that will surely be only half as enjoyable as a physical conference. But anyway, no use sitting around bemoaning what might have been. We have to make the most of what we have, so let's try and enjoy this year's virtual ICSE. Based on today, I would say it seems we are all enjoying a lot. Several people attending all the sessions, so we are doing very well. Well, still, working with a new environment like Cloudar has been a huge challenge, as it has often meant, and it does mean, doing things in a completely different way to what we all authors, presenters, session chairs, keynote speakers, panelists, and as organizers are all accustomed to. So I would therefore kindly ask you to bear with us and our cloud teething problems. We have had a couple of glitches along today. Please, a bit of patience. Before going into some more details, the first thing I would like to share with you a milestone of which we are very proud, and hopefully you noticed. 2 months before ICSE, links to camera-ready version of all tracks, papers were openly available via the conference website. So huge thanks to all authors who self-archived and then shared their links with us. ICSE will be held live over a 4 days period from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. European Summer Time. According to this schedule, most of you should be able to participate synchronously in at least half of the conference. And besides, we are mirroring, so recording and broadcast over the following 12 hours period. Attendees will be able to see what happened in the 12 previous hours. So all the technical sessions and their associated live questions and answers are recorded and broadcast during the mirror. If you wish to talk to an author, just join her paper discussion room, and it's up to the authors whether they are present in their rooms during the mirror or not. And we will have some networking activities and panels live during the mirror schedule. So we have made every effort to give you the feel of a physical conference featuring social and networking activities that for sure most of you have already tasted. And with the aim of having the chance to interact among all of us. Also, we have some cultural activities to give you a taste of Madrid and Spain. We had a guitar concert in the middle of the European Day, and is recorded and broadcast in the middle of the mirror too. And you will see, I will let you know in my slides some other details. So, oh, my computer was saying that it was gonna stop now or something like that. No, please. Okay, let me share my screen and show you some figures in the slides. This is Madrid's main square. You would be enjoying much more if you were here, but anyhow. So let me start by acknowledging of support to all our sponsors. Thank you very much for the funds you put in this year ICSE. Regarding the participants, this main conference, we have had over 1,700 registrations. We could have a few more because we close on Sunday, trying to make our life easier, connecting the registration system with Cloudar, that you all know gives some problems in accessing from time to time. Then the collocated events and the workshops registrations went over 1,300. So the total head counting, removing the duplications of people that are in those numbers of people who registered to all the 3 events or to 2 events, makes over 2,000 attendees. And that's a new record. This is first time that ICSE goes over 2,000 attendees. And here is the distribution of countries. We have people from all around the world. This is about the geographical distribution of authors submitting to all main tracks. And yeah, that's it. Here is this the distribution of students. We have a big number, over 40% of students. Here is the ages. The over 50% of the attendees are in the range of between 20-something and 30 many. And here we have the gender distribution, 20% of female, over almost 55 of male. Notice that here we have an important number of people who didn't answer. Okay, I'm showing here the gender diversity between in the organizing committee and all program committees of all tracks. This year we have deployed at ICSE a one-role policy to reinforce diversity, meaning that nobody could participate in more than one program in one committee, including the organizing committee. I would like to thank all chairs for the big effort that applying this policy meant. Very often we found out duplications. They had to go and seek for new members, so the time to form a program committee took twice or 3 times more than usual. I know it was painful, but the results are promising. We in the overall we have over 35% of female versus 60-something of male. And also the geographical diversity increased. We have people from all the continents in all the PCs, about 50% Europeans, 30% North Americans, over 10% of Asia, about 6% of South Americans, about 5% of Oceania, and this is a 1% from Africa. So at least we have people from all 6 continents. Okay, so we have 6 keynotes, one of them from the educational track and 2 awardees talks. And as you, I was gonna say, but you already know that we have the 30 minutes keynote, 15 minutes Q&A, and there's this activity that it seems it's been quite popular, of meeting the speakers, and we have that for all of them. Here we have all of them. We already have Dario and Prem talks. Tomorrow we have Michael and Elaine, I think, and then Janet and David. And here are the awards. Prem's talk was longer today because he was joining together his awardee talk and his keynote speaker talk. We selected Prem as keynote speaker long before he was awarded, so good selection on our part. Okay, then also you know already that we have blended all these tracks and the educational track goes independent. Notice this with the town hall time is different than usual. We put it on the last day, a few hours before the closing, in fact. We have also several technical briefings. Thank you very much, all the speakers of the technical briefings. And maybe you notice already, hopefully, we have a PDF program in the landing page of Cloudar and under the program menu in the website. So you have here all the links. You can use that to go directly to the Cloudar room if you are logged in. There are two longer breaks in these 12 hours between 15 minutes and 45 minutes, and a lot of small 5 minutes breaks that you see them in Cloudar clearly. During these breaks, we play some broadcast video of Madrid set with the Spanish classical music that you have already seen, and also some pictures from previous ICSEs and some other surprises. We have a lot of social and networking activities aiming to give you the flavor of a physical conference. Thank you very much to Joe and Alexander that came with this different type of networking activities to build community. Thank you also to Sebastian and his team for all the other social or networking activities. We have another platform where you can go and enjoy there with avatars and interact with your colleagues. We are making some type of running, some yoga to relax in several times in the day, some bookable events that collocated events or some projects. Book them to show you their ideas. Also take a coffee with Aria and Tao, the technical track program co-chairs, or next year program co-chairs too. So I hope that there is enough to interact with colleagues. And then we have the cultural events. Every day has one. Today it was the guitar concert. Tomorrow we start in the morning with a flamenco class and party. We don't repeat it. We have it again in Friday after, I think, the town hall. They are different, same people, but different lessons to learn to play castanets. Now anyhow, and I walk on Thursday around Madrid. So big thanks to everybody who contribute to make this ICSE. There was a lot of people and a lot of effort to arrive here. Over 70 members in the organizing committee. Thank you very much, all of you. You did a fantastic job. Hold on. Also, students volunteers. We had over 90 applications of students when ICSE already announced, in fact, several months before, had announced that it would go virtual, and the students still wanted to participate and help. Thank you very much to all of them. If we sum up all the conference program committees, we almost arrived to 500 people, and if we add collocated events, workshops, etc., then there's a huge amount of people involved. And now I pass the mic to Ari. Tao must be sleeping. So let me stop sharing my screen, and so Ari can I'm reading, Sebastian. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Natalia. Maybe mute, Natalia, because there's a bit of an echo. So let me walk you through a couple of slides about the technical track. Tao is indeed sleeping. It's in the middle of the night in Beijing. I'm almost sleeping. It's the evening, but Natalia and I were so excited about the first day to share this live with you. So a few thoughts about the technical track. First of all, a technical track is impossible without a program committee. So I want to say a few words about the program committee. This year we had 159 people in the program committee. I think that was the biggest PC ever so far, but I think in the future they will be bigger. The challenge in selecting a PC is making, first of all, sure that you have the right mix of expertise for the expected set of papers, so that all the papers actually receive high quality reviews. This is a bit of a gamble because you don't know what papers to expect, and this is always changing. But this is the key criterion, of course. But in addition to that, what we also wanted is to make sure that the PC is as representative as possible for the software engineering research community as it is, or maybe as we want it to be in some cases. So there is geographical distribution, a bit divided like North America, Europe, Asia, and others divided 40, 30, 20, 10% in terms of size. Academia, industry is 90, 10%, so maybe we want a little more industry, but well, this is what we had. Male, female, roughly 60-40, a little less than 40 actually, 60-40%. And we really aimed at a mix of experienced PC members who had served before and who knew what to expect from reviewing for ICSE, as well as quite a few people who were serving on ICSE or something like ICSE for the very first time. To find the people, we gratefully use the SIGSOFT self-nominations. So the SIGSOFT has this spreadsheet where you can nominate yourself or your friend or your colleague. And we use this list to make sure that we were able to meet the representation criteria that are listed above. Well, we sent out invitations to serve on the PC in 2019, in October, November, December. And everyone said yes, unaware of the situation of 2020 when COVID-19 hit all of us. And I think when they accepted, they were unaware of how much how difficult the year would be and how hard it would be to squeeze in these reviewing duties as well. So thank you to all the PC members. I saw several in the call here, in the audience. So if you're there, you know who you are, and thank you very, very much. Normally, when we have a live session, you would stand up and there would be 1,000 people now applauding you. Well, this is the virtual applause. So virtual applause for all of you. Thank you so much. Then one little innovation that we did this year was that we organized we first of all looked at the individual subtopics, and then we grouped them into 7 main areas. And we did this in order to get a little help and a little more structure into the topics themselves. And we also modernized a few of them. And with those key areas in existence, we could also then ask help from a couple of senior people from the community who we designated as area chairs. And they helped us in oversee the reviewing process, in making sure that papers reach decisions, etc., talking about best paper awards, etc. So they were very helpful throughout the process. It was very reassuring to have these senior people help us with very difficult tasks to make. So Dongmei, Anders, Tom, Laurie, Daniela, Ji, Eric, thank you so much. Great that you helped. And I think this makes the whole process a little more structured and repeatable. Then the papers. We were very happy to receive 615 papers written by in total around 2,000 authors. So that's a lot. Submitted written in spring, submitted in the summer 2020. And also this was done in times of COVID-19. So this was difficult for you, and we very much appreciated your submissions, and we were very happy with them. So the PC looked at all those submissions and went through a process that was as rigorous as possible. and accepted eventually 138 papers. And that is the highest number accepted ever at ICSE, as far as I can tell. So that I think is nice. In terms of acceptance rate, that is 22.5%, which is comparable to the 21% of the past 3 years. And the years before that, it was a little lower than 21%, but comparable. So the acceptance rate, happy with. A number of papers, happy with. So very happy with these 138 papers. Then, given the fact that we had areas, we can also look at, well, what are the popular areas? So now we don't have to look at 48 topics, but we can look at the overall areas. And in gray, we see the percentage of submissions, the percentage of papers that had at least one topic that fit in the area. So for instance, there is AI and software engineering, and 18% of the submitted papers had at least one topic related to AI. Then that's the gray bars, and the yellow bars are the eventually accepted distributions. So in the eventually accepted papers, around 16% of the papers had at least one topic related to AI in it. Okay, so that's notice that papers can be in multiple areas. So a paper can fit in AI and do dependability, for instance. Then a bit about the review process, here summarized in a bunch of weeks. The first 1 or 2 weeks are devoted to bidding. So reviewers express their interest in the papers. Tao and I made a few desk rejects, mainly if there were anonymization violations or if the language wasn't English. This year we used a little tool to check for double-blind violations, and I think that helped in reducing the number of desk rejects. So we had a lot fewer desk rejects than last year, because the formatting was mostly correct. And then we assigned the papers to the reviewers so that they could start reviewing. That was the next 7 weeks, where the reviewers were writing their reviews for all their papers, from 10 to 15, around 10 to 15 papers per reviewer, depending a bit on their role. Then after the reviewing period, we had a week where we would actually check the review quality. So the 3 reviewers would inspect each other's review and comment, and there would also be discussion about expertise. Do we have the right expertise to answer to address this paper? Reviewers would look at each other's questions, and then based on that, they would would possibly update their review and then mark the paper as ready for rebuttal. But in some cases, extra reviews would be needed, or replacements if people could not make certain deadlines. So there were a few people who could not make their deadline because of corona-related concerns. So there were some fast people who did an extra review, and that was in week 10, 11. Then an author response period of a week, where every paper had received 3 reviews. And then discussions and consensus building in order to make sure, to reach a decision for each paper. And then in the last week, we as chairs, the area chairs and the program chairs together took the final decisions on certain papers where the consensus wasn't immediately reached. But the vast majority of papers, the reviewers themselves reached the consensus already. And only for a dozen papers or so, we as chairs needed to do something in the last week. And we were, of course, involved in the discussions throughout the process. In total, 1,800 reviews, 550 meta reviews, 10,000 comments. So very intense, a lot of activity. Thank you, thank you, thank you, dear program committee members. Another principle this year was that we had 10 eyes per paper, 5 people. So each paper received 3 reviews. Some received 4 reviews in case there was expertise concerns. And then on top of those 3 reviewers, we assigned an additional 4th PC member who served as the moderator. And the task of the moderator, it was to guide the discussion to consensus, to write the discussion, to listen to the reviewers and make sure that eventually the decision was taken. And each moderator had, I think, around 10, 15 papers to deal with. It differed, so it wasn't always the same. And then there was an area chair who oversaw this process, and the area chairs, they had to handle like 80 papers, 80 to 90 papers. And they ensured there was consistency across these papers. They brought in their expertise and experience for difficult discussions, and they made sure that decisions were actually made. And for the difficult cases, the area chairs themselves, of course, discussed and made sure that there was inter-area consistency. Another good thing is, of course, the many distinguished paper awards. So 10% of the papers could receive a distinguished paper award, ACM 6 of Distinguished Paper Award, and here they are. This afternoon, they were this European afternoon, so a few hours ago, they actually received their award, and there was a little ceremony. Congratulations to all of you. These were based on scores by the reviewers who could tick award quality, as well as a little discussion among the program chairs and the area chairs. And based on that, we fairly consistently could identify these papers. And the top one is the special mention, because they not only received the ACM 6 of Distinguished Paper Award, but also a special ACM Europe Council Best Paper Award, because ICSE is virtual, but it's also taking place in Madrid in Europe. So here it was. And then another bunch of awards for distinguished reviewers. These were reviewers who were very active in discussions, who wrote thorough reviews, who were constructive, who helped each other. So thank you for your help, and these reviewers deserve a very special mention, and they will receive their, they have the ceremony next Thursday. Thank you very, very much. This was what we as program chairs had to say. We hope you will enjoy the program, and that's it for me, from my side.
Yeah. This time we did it even better. Yeah, time to close.
So feel free to the few extra minutes to mingle around, to chat, to explore Clowder, and have fun. Enjoy.
Yeah. Bye, everybody. Thank you very much.
Bye.